So I'd like to do is take an opportunity to share with you some of the projects and activities that we have done with some of our partners. So one of them that we've done is, believe it or not, we actually work with the military. So with the military, when you see their vehicles, you may drive on, say, I-75, and you may see their vehicles moving to one of their test sites and training sites, and you see them in a row. So what we did is we worked on some communication technology so that those vehicles could actually communicate with each other. But not only did they communicate, they also had the ability for the lead vehicle to be making the decisions on where it was going and the route it was taking and which lane it was going to be in, and then took that technology and actually implemented so the vehicles following it would actually be able to follow to do the same thing, and they wouldn't need a driver in those vehicles. So what are the things that help with that, right? Why do we do that? We did that because it allows the opportunity to move fleets. In this case, it was military. Think it could be commercial fleets, right? Where, people are commercial industry, they're really tied tight to the amount of hours that they can drive. So now it gives them the opportunity to still have those drivers. We're not getting rid of the drivers. What we're doing is we're allowing the opportunity to extend the amount of time that those drivers can drive. So when you think military, you think freight. Think of the possibilities are huge. You start looking at when you move military vehicles into really maybe not the best situations, maybe could, in harm's way in some cases. Now what we can do with this technology is we can actually move those vehicles in there, and we don't actually have to have drivers in those vehicles. It provides safety opportunities for them. It provides safety opportunities for our freight system where, maybe they're tired, maybe they're at the end of their shift, and, now we can actually move those vehicles and have the opportunity to do that. One of the other ones that we did is we worked with a partner to operate autonomous vehicles. We did a pilot on the freeway, and we took a construction zone. And what we were able to do is we were able to embed a barcode. It's not the barcode that you would take and try to scan with your phone. But we embedded a barcode that the autonomous vehicle would be able to communicate with. And imagine the things you can put in that barcode that would actually provide that vehicle valid information for making decisions. We can put in there what the speed limit in the construction zone is, right? Keep our workers safe, keep the speeds down. We can put in there what ramps are closed so that that vehicle knows that you can't use that ramp. You can embed in there what the detour route is. And now the vehicle knows how to get around that. So things like that where we can actually put those in there, we did that. We put pavement markings down on the pavement so that the vehicle could follow those and it could interpret and understand where it was going. We put embedded code in the barrels, the construction orange barrels that we all see out there. And that allowed the opportunity for the vehicle to communicate with those construction barrels and to say whether the right lane is closed or the left lane is closed. So the amount of information you can transmit in those type of technologies and systems, it's so widespread. It's so much information that could actually make better decisions. Another one that we did is we did an autonomous drive. So we've been talking about autonomous vehicles. We've been talking about the automation of those. What we did is we had worked with two companies, actually one in the United States and one in Canada, and we did an automated drive. So we took those vehicles, we started in the United States, we crossed over the border, we drove up through Canada and back across to Port Huron and actually out to Traverse City. 95% of that drive was actually done in automated mode. No issues. The cars understood where they were operating. They did it safely. It was really cool. It was exciting to see that these cars could go such a long distance and actually through another country across two border crossings and be in the automated technology. The last one that I want to share with you is something you may have interactions with, is we have technology and we're testing and implementing where you can actually provide information about the signal system to, let's just use transit as an example. So say you ride a bus to work and you, when you're on the bus, you're always stopping, right? For some reason, I always get stopped at these traffic lights. Well, now what we're doing is we're working with those infrastructure systems, and we're giving the information, we're understanding for that particular bus on that particular route, is it ahead of schedule? Is it behind schedule? Is it on time? And then we're making on-time live decisions about whether we change that signal. So say they're behind schedule. The system will make the choice to put a green on there and allow that bus to go through that intersection. Same thing for emergency responders, right? We want to get them where they need to go to save lives. Now we can actually take and change those signals so that they are actually on a green signal instead of traversing through a red signal. We can stop the rest of the traffic. We can give them a green signal, and they can traverse that roadway to get to the hospital quicker. The other piece is you look at something maybe as easy and as simple, but very, very important, is our snowplow trucks. So when our snowplow trucks are on a corridor, they have to start and stop at every signal as they turn red. Well, what that does is it does a couple of things. One is it stops them from snowplowing and clearing the road. Say we just had a big storm, they're trying to clear it, they're trying to treat it, they're trying to make it safe for the public. And now what we're doing is providing the opportunity to keep that truck moving, giving it those green lights, to actually keep it moving down the corridor, get it plowed, get it salted, so that we can get all of our families and our friends and our public out to work and to home and to all the commitments that they have. And we're working to do that very quickly